Does it ever end? I always ask myself this question. This rat race we're really in, you know what I mean? And I think for a lot of us, we kind of know like we're in this endless kind of loop, this endless kind of race. And for some of us, we kind of haven't figured that out. For some of us, we have, but we're wondering like, how do we get out? And I always ponder to myself, like, does this ever end? Does this ever finish? You know, like you make more money, then you buy a bigger house, and you make more money and you buy a better car. You keep doing that till you get more, and then till make a business and become a millionaire. Then you just travel around the world, and you kind of just do more fun stuff. It it always kind of like when you think about it, it's always like you need money, you know, um, to leave. But I think part of being smart is knowing when to draw the line, knowing when to know where the goalpost is, right? Like for example, someone's playing baseball and he gets a contract for $500,000. Now that's a lot of money. And then he looks at the other guy who's getting 2 million. He's like, yo, that's nothing. Then the 2 million guy looks at the guy making 5 million. He says he has nothing. The 5 million looks at the guy that makes 10 million and 20 million, etc. and so on. And to the other guy, the top guy that makes 200 million. Right. And so if you compare half a million to 200 million or half a million to 5 million, that's peanuts, right? So part of being smart is knowing when to like kind of draw that line. And I always ask myself, when do you draw the line? Is it after 60,000? Is it after 100,000? Is it half a million? When do you draw it? See, now I'm turning 27 this year. Um, I kind of realized like nothing really matters. I feel like once you get to 25, 26, you kind of realize nothing really matters. You just need a shelter, a vehicle, some food, some clothes, some friends, a relationship. You're good to go. You know, obviously I'm not saying don't make money. No, make money, grind. But what I feel like when people feel like, like if they're making like 200,000, they're not making a lot. But what do you really need though? That's why I always ask myself, what do you really need? You know, I think for a lot of us, we don't really understand like what we really need. It's kind of like you go on Instagram, you go on TikTok, you see a rich kid, or you see a rich person's life, and you're like, I need that. And do you really need that? That's the real question. Do you really need all that? Most likely not. um it's difficult, sometimes, but I always tell myself you don't need a lot, and that helps reduce my stress and stuff like that. I'm good with my Mazda. I drive a Mazda 3 2014. I'm good with that. When I get in it, it's my Mercedes. Seriously, when I drive, I'm not even joking. When I drive, I don't really think about other people's cars or what car I'm driving. I blast my music, I love it, and I'm just in my own thought, thinking about my own life. Looking outside. Live in Canada, so it's cold, but even when you turn your heaters on, you're just driving, you just think about life, or you're just enjoying the view. You're not really worried about, oh, I don't have ambient lighting in my car, or I don't have like heating seats in my car. That guy has a better car. I don't do that. I know some people do that, but I don't do that. You know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. I don't know. I used to be a really like house person. Like I loved houses, mansion, huge houses. Now I don't care. I just look at it like a big box, a big jail cell, um, and like a big box where you have to clean, vacuum, and stuff like that. Because there's a lot of dust going around, right? And if I leave my phone there, I'm gonna, where's my phone? Where's my phone? So I don't need to have a mansion. I don't need to have a big house. You know, because at the end of the day, I'm mostly gonna be outside either way, so it doesn't really matter. Why pay the extra mortgage, right? So that's just kind of how I see it. So like, what do you really need in your life, and when is enough enough? You just gotta really ask yourself that type of question. Just ask yourself, and that would help you in your own life. What you need, what you don't need. Some people say they want 5 kids. Do you really need it? 3 kids? You know, just think about it, and and then you understand. Like for example, I'm with a phone company, and they just messaged that my mom can get the new iPhone. We upgrade every 2 years. And I'm looking at him like, man, I looking back like last year, 2 years, I feel so silly, you know? Like, I feel like I used to go and be like, yeah, I need the new phone. So there's an iPhone 17, there's an iPhone 16. I'm like, I'm just gonna get the 16. I have the 16, my mom has the 15. I'm like, bro, it doesn't even matter. It's all the same thing. But people make it such a big deal because it's just the dopamine. It's just the idea of having it. My life will be a little bit better. Then you have it and it doesn't. We do this for every year, for every phone. If I get that phone, if I get that car, and then once you get it, you're like, if I get that car, if I get that new phone, because every year there's always going to be a new model, right? So you're never going to be happy. But that's just kind of how I see it and stuff like that. But that's it for this one, guys.